So in my Lost Heir 1 walkthrough, I walked you through what I believe is the most powerful melee class. I'm going to follow that up with Lost Heir 2. So this game is a little bit longer and it's a little more intricate, and it really depends on what you did in game 1 to figure out what is the optimal path in game 2. So here is the character I created for that first walkthrough, and I'm going to continue without a summary. So I'm with Petra in the wilderness doing her side quest. Now here, I'm going to train hard for the grand tournament to become a knight and get lots of stats for that. I'm not going to put up with bandits, and I'm going to take everything they have. Taking the bow is particularly important. And then I'm just going to divide up the money with Petra. Okay, now because I am smart and have geography, I can figure out where the vampire's lair is. And then there's probably several different ways to do it. The best way I've found is to go to the inn, the vampire shows up, and you distract it. And what that does is it gives you some stat bonuses at the bottom. And then I'm going to choose to drift apart from Petra because I'm going to start a new relationship in this game. Okay, I don't need anything from the shops. And here I'm going to get some perception, and then I'm going to get some charm, and then I'm going to get some strength. Now obviously you want to take the time and read all this text because it is a very rich story. So I'm going to enter the night tournament. I don't need anything. And then obviously in the archery event I didn't do very well. In the joust, however, I'm going to win with my trusty horse that I got in game 1. And then here I'm going to get a perception check and then win the tournament with some nice gold and some stat bonuses there. Okay, so now I have Jess and who I'm meeting in the town, and Carla and Theo are in the jail, and I need to figure out how to get them out. So the way I'm going to do it is there's a couple different ways. First, I'm going to charm the guards to figure out where they are. Then I'm actually not going to go in this way, but I want to get the charm points, and I'm going to sneak in. Now I have a gem of seeing, which is very useful, and then I'm going to attack Bunta. Now if you have 70 strength, you can get away with this move and kill him. We're going to take the child, and I want this to be a woman. I want Bryn to be a woman, so because she's going to be my romance option for this. Doesn't matter what we say here. We learn that Theo has died and Carla is alive. Now here, there's a couple different ways I can go about this. I can get a history bonus or a geography bonus. Doesn't really matter. I'll just choose geography. And then here's how you want to strategize here. First, we're going to take care of this child that we saved, even though it costs us a day. Second, we're going to go see Lord Vale and try to get his faction up to 70. So Vale, Tovor, and Kumari. We want them all at 70 or above. So we're going to keep military spending the same. And we're going to inspect the soldiers. He's going to like you because you are a knight, and we need 3 days to get our Vale relationship above 70. So now let's speak to Tovor. Now we're going to get a slight bonus and a slight nature bonus asking a cute question. And then again, we're going to make him happy by spending some time studying. So again, we need to spend 3 days to get his faction above 70. Now we're going to take a hit to evil here, but it's going to pay dividends in charm. And now we're going to go see Archmage Kumari, and we have a good horse, so we can get there fairly quickly and get back in time for the vote. And there's a number of different ways of getting faction up here. We could agree here, but if we agree here, he's not going to provide troops later on. So we're going to decline, and we're going to ask about other options. And he tells us about the fact that they want this staff back. And you could spend all different ways of trying to figure out how to get it, or we could just take it because we're part vampire. We don't need to give them an item in our possession. And now we've got 3 days left. We might as well spend them with these other nobles. And then doing it this way, we're going to choose the charm route. And you'll see that the results, we win by a unanimous decision. And get the Circlet of Daria, which is an important artifact. Okay. So we're going to figure out our plan and get a power and morale boost there. Speak to Lord Tovor. Discuss war spending. Speak to Archmage Kumari and get the option to go see other races. Not going to speak to Jess because she hates us. And because we're wearing the Circlet of Daria, we get a nice citizen reputation bonus. We're also going to get a charm bonus here and more citizen reputation. They give us free stuff, take free stuff, even though we're not going to use it. All right, Spy Network, we want to focus on Brightwater. That's going to give us Bryn relationship faction, which is important. And now for all these, we're going to take Bryn with us. We want to get her relationship up from where it is currently, because she's going to be our romance option here, and you'll see why. All right, so we're going to go see the dwarves. And we're going to go take care of this giant, but first we're going to get some free charm. Now that's almost maxed. And then we're just going to walk in and we're going to kill it. And then we're going to work in the mines because that gives us the biggest bonuses, particularly to our army. And then there's a couple different options you can do with your child you saved. I usually choose the kitchen route. Okay, we're going to bring Bryn again. And we have nature, so we can just check the moss. And then we're going to kill this worm. It's quite hard actually to kill this worm. You have to do it just right. And then that gets us a nice gold bonus. And then talk to the elves. Doesn't really matter what you say to them. Tells you about a necklace that's missing. We're going to find that later. And then we're going to spend time with the warriors. We could spend time with the elders or mages if we wanted to, but we don't need to. Okay, and your advisors tell you they want you to court Bryn, and this is why we've been building faction with her. And you notice you get lots of nice bonuses for that. So now go see the gnomes. We're again going to bring Bryn, and the first couple times I played through this, I killed this guy sneaking up on me. Turns out that that's a gnome. And get a perception bonus this way. And then for the moment, there's a bug that doesn't allow you to get this, even though you have over 65 history. So instead you can go the geography route, and you can actually set it on fire even though your magic is super low. Okay, you're going to want to take on a squire. It's going to help you in the battle later on. And you can choose one of these two, Raquel or Remus. I wouldn't suggest either of the others. So we're going to choose Raquel, and we're going to spend some gold and spend some time training her. We don't need the skills ourselves. You notice we're quite strong already. We are going to go get the half-orcs, and again bring Bryn. And get a history bonus there. And we're going to talk our way through this. And there's a couple different ways you can get half-orc help by having Theo or Jess kill these people. But since we have charm, we're just going to go that route. And that also gets us citizen reputation. Finally, to the halflings. And we're going to talk our way out here. They ask for help with something, but because we're smart, we know, and because we have perception, we can figure out quite a bit about what's going on inside. And we lose a little gold there, but it's okay. And we're going to not say anything because that would use up our wish, and instead we're going to use the wish for ourselves. Now, if you take the first option or the last option, you get nothing. If you take this option, you get 3 points to strength and agility or endurance, I think. This you get geography plus 10. This I don't know, and this you get gold. I'm going to choose the gold route. And here the vampire thing crops up, and we're just going to ignore it and get a nice endurance bonuses as a result. And here you have a random event that can happen. There's one of two things that could happen. You could have something with Jess and Petra, or you could have something here with Carla and Petra. Unfortunately, we don't get the Jess and Petra option, which would give us the ability to earn 15 extra food for our army. So if you're one of those maximize people, you may want to play through again until you get that option. But here we're just going to go with what we get. And we're going to go ahead and give the guy back his necklace, and that's going to give us some points for good. And then ask that Kamari provide wizards, and he's going to do so because of your faction. And you're also going to get a huge bonus to army power and size because you gave him his staff back. So you get improved contribution there. Okay, we're going to give pep talks to the soldiers. We're going to rely on charm, and that gets us a maximum bonus. And now we're going to court Bren. We're going to take it slow. And we're not going to invite her back to our room yet. And here, put out the flames, and then attack. All right, taking Adam with us. He'll come in handy later on. And we don't need to buy anything. Okay, we can go ahead and begin the march. It would be nice to have more food. You see we're only at 45, but we're going to pick up some more on the way, and we're not going to encounter too many delays. All right, here we're going to get nature and morale. Here we're going to talk our way through it. Here we're going to do a history check. And here we're going to get magic and morale. Okay, now because of the food situation, you're going to make some people unhappy no matter what you choose here. If you had plenty of food, the general wouldn't be upset with you when you tell him this, but now he's going to be. But you want to maintain your relationship with Lord Tovor. We'll see why in a moment. Oh, actually, we did have enough. Okay, now our army size and power could be a little better, so we're going to go ahead and recruit the weapon masters. And we have the gold to spare. You see we have 300, we have almost 1,200 gold, and we only need 300 here. Okay, here we're going to arrest the guy. Don't feed upon him. It doesn't actually give you any bonus. Instead, arrest him and get a religion bonus and a good bonus. All right, here, because we have high geography, we're able to get through this without delay. And here, because we helped Sherman out earlier, he's going to donate food to the army, so that's nice. We don't need to recruit anybody. Our army is big enough. And here we get romantic with Bren. Okay, we can ask this question if we want, and you could get the prestige class of Arcane Tattooist if you are a wizard, but I am not, and I don't want that prestige class anyway. So we're going to move on, and that's going to make the army happy. This surprise attack, I don't know of a way to avoid it. And what I like to do here is I like to send a raid and charge to the front and attack and keep pushing, and then only attack enemy soldiers. I find that that gives the best balance of results. And now you could fly flags of parley, but it doesn't do anything. Instead, we're just going to march toward the city. All right, Here, I would suggest just battering the door down. If you ask somebody to do something for you, you don't get this stat bonus. And then we're not going to hesitate. We're just going to attack immediately. He was responsible for helping kill your parents, after all. And there's a couple things we need to wrap up here. Okay, here, Lord Vale does not... You fail a check with Lord Vale, and this check is to become a war leader. And the only way you can do it is by being a town guard early in Game 1. So the first opportunity you have in Game 1 to become a town guard, a city guard, you need to do that. And that will put you on the path to become a war leader, which is an interesting prestige class in its own right, but not part of this playthrough. Okay, we're going to gather the food. And we're going to recruit the civilians who are in shape. And this is going to give us a nice boost to size and power. And now talk to Lord Tovor and forage/hunt for food. And we do pass the Lord Tovor check. It's 75 relationship with Lord Tovor, and it's 60 in Arcana, Geography, and History. And they find a dragon, and this opens a prestige class option. So here's your last chance to improve, and there's a couple different things you can do. You can find the dragon, which we're actually going to do. There's no point in training swords because we're already capped. We don't use a bow. You can become a knight level 2, and you get rewarded with silver armor and some stats, but we're already capped in some of those stats anyway. You can also improve the morale of your troops, and what we're going to do is we're going to find the dragon's cave. We're going to accept this connection. And unfortunately, we have to get rid of our nice horse that served us well, but who doesn't want to ride a dragon instead? And we get huge stat bonuses for that. Give it a name, doesn't really matter. And then here, we're going to take the horses with a promissory note instead of gold. Hopefully, we don't have to pay on that debt because of what happens in Game 3. And then we're going to build up the strength of our army, and that's going to actually cap it. All right, we're back in Elmville, our old hometown, and we're going to stop here and go with Carla to her parents' house and try to find Sir Grady, but he's passed on. And now we meet Master Jet, who we did not double cross in the first game, and that gives us the option to buy some sheep here. And we're going to need that food. So now our food's in good shape, and we're fine in we're fine otherwise. Now Petra is going to give us the option to stop and improve morale. Our morale is capped, so we're going to keep moving. And we can ask all of our advisors how they would advise attacking if we want, but I'm going to tell you how we're going to attack. And this is the kind of last battle. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig a tunnel. We could do siege machines, and that's going to work just fine as well, but we're going to dig a tunnel because that's going to give us stat bonuses. All right, we are going to build siege towers and attack the town, and we are going to build up defenses. We have the food, and we can deal with the delays. And you see, with 20 army food, we're just fine. We don't need any more. We are going to attack the wall, and I am going to participate on Dragonback. And that softens up the army quite a bit. The Tornaso army is down to 59 out of 100, and we only took a very small hit. Okay, there is sabotage of the tunnel. No matter what you do, it's going to get sabotaged, and the question is if you have the skill check to get around it. I do have the skill check to get around this sabotage, so there is a slight delay. And here I'm going to reach out and grab, use my strength, and then kill the assassin. And here we don't need to do anything because we've done everything properly. If we didn't do something properly, we would maybe have to buy some food or something like that. But here we don't need to. And we have 4 food left before the night of the battle, and we can use that for morale. Okay, now let's storm Tornasa. And I'm going to choose to dodge so I get the agility bonus. My strength is almost capped. And charge the gate. Here we're going to continue forward cautiously. If you have devices, you can actually disable the trap, but I don't. So I'm going to use perception to minimize losses here. We're not going to surrender. And then here, Theo is attacking. So we can use our relationship to mitigate some damage. And here we're going to attack Selena. We're going to take a hit in the process, but that's fine. And then we're going to kill her. And now the problem is we can't heal Theo. And so what we're going to have to do is just fight our way free. And then, unfortunately, we're just going to have to, we're going to try to save him. But he poisons you. And then, unfortunately, there's really nothing you can do to keep Theo from doing the next thing. If you are a religious person, you can cure the person who's poisoned. Incidentally, whoever you send at the end of game 1 becomes enslaved. So it could be the red cleric or the red archer. All right, and then at the end, this is a scripted event. There's nothing that you can do any differently. And this is the end of game 2. So you see that my stats are very, very high. And I think that positions you quite well to do game 3, but unfortunately game 3 is not implemented yet. Incidentally, if you don't become a dragon rider, you do actually get the ability to use the belt of speed. You also get to use the belt of speed if you don't, if you need it for the final battle. But you notice I didn't even use the cloak of spiders, the cloak of shadows, or the belt of speed. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. And game 3 is not out yet. Looking forward to that. And when it comes out, I will try to take the time to figure out the optimal way to play through it. And it might require redoing games 1 and 2 because I kind of made sure they synergize well together.